The Alabama Farmers Federation and the Alabama Farmers Cooperative proudly present Simply Southern with your hosts Jim Allen and Mary Johns.
Hello and welcome to Simply Southern. I'm Mary Johns.
And I'm Jim Allen. There aren't a lot of farmers who wear jewelry to work, but on today's show we'll introduce you to a farmer who makes her own jewelry and has turned it into a successful business.
The idea behind it really is to be able to go from day to night, t-shirt and jeans to cocktail.
In between the bustling cities of Decatur and Huntsville, you can find a quaint retreat at 1818 Farms in the town of Mooresville.
You're in nature, you're cooking from things that came right out of this area, so it's amazing.
Lasagna doesn't grow in a garden, but there's a technique called lasagna that could help your garden grow. Sidney Phelps of Bonnie Plants has a guest that will help him explain that later.
But coming up after the break, we'll visit an Alabama city that has turned its downtown into a large-scale work of art.
What sustains us? Food? Family? Faith. Alabama farmers live those things every day. They conserve our resources, clothe our families, and fill our tables. They cultivate jobs for our communities and values for our future. Farmers grow it all right here in Alabama.
There's no such thing as downtime when you own a farm. This is your land. You tend it and try to get the most from it, no matter the weather or time of day. It's been that way for generations. And for generations, your local quality co-op store has been there for you, with a full range of agriculture supplies and services, from feed to fertilizer, seed to grain storage, and the right hardware for any application. You'll always find what you need, plus friendly, knowledgeable advice at your local quality co-op store. There's one near you.
With all the names and dates, campaigns, crusades, and coronations, it's hard to keep your eyes open with a history book in front of you. I guess that's why they throw in the pictures. Just speaking for myself, folks. Well, the city of Dothan might have had me in mind when it decided to paint the old bricks of its downtown in eye-catching and educational detail. If you really want to experience a city, you always want to start downtown. That's usually where you'll find the local color, the real story of a place. And in Dothan, it comes in larger-than-life detail.
It's about telling a local story. Murals are a good way to illustrate that and get people interested in what's going on in the story and in the mural.
You'll find Wes Hardin's name signed to many of the colossal compositions decorating the old brick walls of Dothan's downtown, earning it the designation as Alabama's Mural City.
Our first artist came out of Canada. We've had wonderful artists out of Georgia and all around Alabama. So I'm just proud to be a small part of what they've accomplished.
And like I said, folks, the downtown murals give you the real story of the Wiregrass's biggest burg.
The one we're standing in front of now, it talks about the riverboat's effect on the economy and how it affected people's lives and how you traveled up and down the river. A block up, we talk about the history of local music talent, regional music, country music, contemporary music, songwriters. We have murals about the railroad and how that affected people. We try to show how turpentine was harvested, how it was barreled, and how the trees were harvested, and then timber is a story. So mostly we try to isolate those things that are gone, bygone days, if you will.
Whether it's the economy, ecology, entertainment, or everything in between, the murals paint a picture of Dothan's past and present. They brought new life to the old downtown in a way that's both exciting but also practical.
Usually artists get involved in these downtowns where businesses have been vacated and gone in disrepair and they've had to tear the buildings down. And so it leaves these broken teeth, if you will, or empty spots in the downtown area. Most of the time when the building's gone, it's exposed, and that brick was never intended to be exterior. And so you've got a lot of moisture migrating in through the new business, the one that wants to be open. And so like this mural here, we were able to come in here and instead of it just being a broken down wall, we added a piece of art, and we also told a story.
And Dothan's not only sharing this story with gawking out-of-towners like myself, They're also using their murals as a fun way to learn history outside the classroom.
Each year, the local schools bring the kids downtown and share the history on a walking tour. And the kids, it's a real treat, and it helps with education, which is our main goal. I usually encourage them to go touch it. They all want to touch it, put their hand on it. And of course, it's public art. That's what it's for, not hurting it. And so they love it. And then years have gone by. Now, as I've gotten older, those kids have grown up, and I've run into a few, and they've talked about the mural tours.
Like most of Alabama cities, changes in time and technology have drawn folks away from Dothan's downtown streets and avenues. But in recent years, efforts to revitalize these old city centers have grown. There's a world of difference between your average canvas and a towering wall of brick. But the excitement Wes Hardin has seen these murals generate make all those extra days out in the sun worthwhile.
Buildings are expensive to repair. They're cost prohibitive for most building owners. What we can do is we can offer an opportunity to clean up the side of the building, create something wonderful to look at, but it does a lot to make people feel like you're putting money back into your downtown. And our job here is almost done. Now we've got building owners coming in, buying, repairing. It's a place you want to be again. It feels safe, and it's a nice space to be in.
While there's no substitute to getting down to the Wiregrass and seeing these murals for yourself, if you're curious, visit Dothan.com has an online tour available to get you started. Just click on the Visit tab at the top of the page.
And Wes really specializes in painting people in the murals, and to do that, he draws a lot from historical photographs.
Yeah, I recognized a lot of the people on the walls there.
Yeah, and now sometimes it's even people that he knows. He's painted his kids into some of the murals.
That's right.
When we come back, we visit Mooresville and 1818 Farms, a popular destination for city folks wanting to reconnect with the farm life.
The versatile peanut, meat of the earth, friend of the soil, tasty, nutritious, packed with protein. And Alabama peanut farmers nourish some very special things. Families, communities, and Alabama's economy. Peanuts. Good for you, good for Alabama.
Who drives your car? An athlete? A rocker? A dreamer? A survivor? A best friend? Alpha Insurance. As individual as you are.
The DR Trimmer mower is the original trimmer on wheels. Trim along fence lines against buildings and around gardens. Mow down thick grass and weeds on the toughest terrain. And now you can own a DR for as little as $349.99 with free shipping. Hurry, this offer won't last.
For your free buyer's guide and DVD, call 1-800-230-1030. Free shipping is now in effect. Online at drtrimmer.com.
A farmer has to live on faith. We do all we can do, but we can only control so much.
Alabama is the second largest poultry growing state in the nation, so we're trying our best to grow all the corn we can for that.
What we produce not only feeds and clothes all of the United States, but about half of what we make goes on to the world market.
We've been able to improve yields, have some things that can help us produce a better crop. I'm proud of the product we make and proud that I can say I'm an Alabama farmer.
The Farm to Fork movement is an extremely popular trend. But did you ever think a Farm to Fork dinner could more than double the population of a town? Well, that's exactly what happens when the founders of 1818 Farms host their semi-annual sit-down meal in Mooresville. Come along with us as we visit this town that's older than the state.
Just a mile off Interstate 565 in Limestone County, you'll find the idyllic town of Mooresville, Alabama. The city center is home to the Stagecoach Inn and Tavern, post office, and brick church, all built before the 1850s. Mooresville's narrow streets are lined with towering trees and cozy colonial-style homes, a treat for any visitors venturing off the main road.
They have no clue just what's right off the interstate, and when they do come, they're almost taken back into time of how the town has been able to preserve the homes as well as our historic buildings, and then also incorporate our newer homes with the same feel that our older homes have.
Although the city's population sits around just 60, more and more people are finding out about this small town thanks to an agritourism attraction founded by the McCrary family. It's called 1818 Farms, and the farm name is an homage to the town's history.
The town of Mooresville was incorporated in the year 1818, and Alabama didn't become a state till the year 1819. Our children are the 6th generation to live in our home here, and so when we were naming the farm, we wanted to have a significant to our history of not only our families being here, but also to the town.
Natasha started with growing flowers to sell at farmers markets and to use in a line of beauty and personal care products. Then they added animals, baby doll breed sheep, hens, pigs, and goats. And all those animals are prominently featured on their product labels.
We started making a soap and then a lip balm, and people loved it, and it took off, and now we are in around 400 stores in the United States. The fun part of it is each of the animals that you'll see here today, my mother-in-law does a beautiful pencil sketch, and they're kind of the cover guy or the cover girl for each of the products.
The animals are also some of the stars of the show when 1818 Farms hosts events, like its Farm to Fork dinners, held annually in June and September with Chef Jacob Reed.
This is kind of just like my Zen moment because you're in nature, you're cooking from things that came right out of this area, so it's amazing. And you get to kind of teach people the importance of sourcing locally, the importance of good quality food, and it's a way to connect with the community.
With 80 tickets available, the event more than doubles the population of Mooresville. The dinners often sell out months in advance, long before the menu is even set.
It kind of drives people crazy when they come to these dinners. They want to know what's the menu. Well, a lot of times we don't know what the menu is until 2 days before because it depends on what he can find at the farmer's market. So until tonight, I really didn't know what was on the menu. So that's the interesting part of it. But you'll love Jake and the spin that he takes on doing a Southern cuisine, but with a cosmopolitan flair.
The mouth-watering menu featured 5 courses, including tomato pies, pork chops, strawberry grilled cheese, and deviled eggs, courtesy of the hens at 1818 Farms. But the evening was just as much a treat for the eyes as it was for the taste buds, thanks to the 1818 Farms vintage flower truck, a restored baby blue 1965 Ford F100.
It's been a huge hit. You know, flowers evoke a lot of emotions for people. They bring memories. They're one of those things that you remember when you receive flowers. A lot of flowers, like dahlias, do not ship well. Like there's celosia, zinnias, there's things that we can grow that really you can't get from a wholesale grower because of the shipping. So we try and also offer things that people might be of interest, but you can't really find anywhere else.
And that's the heart of 1818 Farms' success, providing unique products and events that are tough to find elsewhere.
Really, it's like stepping back in time and giving people the chance to come and see a house from the 1800s. And you know, you don't have to go to Williamsburg. You can come just right here in Alabama and experience the same types of events.
1818 Farms hosts a lot more than just the farm-to-table dinners, from yoga retreats to bouquet making and photography workshops. So you can book an event through the farm's website, which is 1818farms.com.
And if you want to see more of the city of Mooresville, they host a progressive dinner every December.
It's a very good, fun holiday event. When Simply Southern continues, you'll meet a South Alabama farmer who has switched from peanuts to pendants and built a successful business making high-end jewelry.
One out of 4 Alabama residents have benefited from the Alabama Cooperative Extension System. Last year, Master Gardener Managed Gardens donated $150,000 worth of fruits and vegetables to food banks, and over 25,000 young people developed math, science, technology, and engineering skills through 4-H. Now what we want to know is, how can we help you?
Soybean is a very versatile product. We make crayons out of it.
A lot of the combines you see rolling through the fields have a lot of plastic side panels that are made from a soy product. The soybeans that we
grow on our farm mostly goes into chicken feed.
Soybean production in Alabama employs over 10,000 people.
We grow some of the best soybeans in the world. We go the extra mile to make sure when our name is stamped on it, we know it's the best product we can produce.
Being a catfish farmer to me means carrying on a legacy that my father started about 35 years ago. It's a good way to take care of the land and provide a nutritious product for people all over the world. My name is Mary Quitman Holmes. My sister, my father, and I own this farm, Lawson Catfish Farm, in Perry County, Alabama.
Agriculture and jewelry may not seem to have much in common, but to Rosemary Cordy, it's all just business. After years of keeping the books on her family's peanut and cotton farm, she's returned to her first love, design, and launched a booming jewelry business.
I started Harvest Jewels in September of 2015. Really had no idea how it was going to go. Thought if it doesn't go over well, I'll have some great looking jewelry at the very least.
While she had hoped for success, Rosemary Cordy says she was shocked at how quickly her jewelry became popular.
It was amazing, and so just kind of had to scatter to continue to make more jewelry quickly and start supplying the people that were asking for it, really. I really didn't think that I would want to go into the retail business and supply, on the wholesale side. But had several people come to me and wanting to sell the jewelry.
Brenda Wallace was one of those people. She says Harvest Jewels has enjoyed a lot of success at her furniture and accessory store in Mobile.
I've been carrying Harvest now for about 2 years, and it's done phenomenal. People wait for me to get new things in. Of course, social media, I post on Facebook and Instagram, and it's funny when I post that I have new stuff. Of course, the little trail of people come in to see what I have.
Brenda says her customers like Rosemary's jewelry because of its quality, versatility, and price.
Harvest is not the price of ultra fine jewelry, but it's fine jewelry, and that's what I love because really a lot of people can afford to buy Harvest, and most people start with the starter necklace. That's what we do. I say, okay, we're going to start with this, and then you add on all of your different pieces, and that's really nice because you can change your look.
It is mostly oxidized sterling silver. I'm doing some gold pieces now too, a little bit of leather. Natural gemstones, pave diamonds. It's kind of bohemian chic is kind of what it's been labeled. I think there are definitely some pieces that are more fun in boho, but there's also a lot of pieces that are really elegant. The idea behind it really is to be able to go from day to night, t-shirt and jeans to cocktail.
While the design is important, Rosemary says the real key to her success is simply taking care of business, a lesson she learned while working on the family's Baldwin County farm.
When I went to work with my husband, gosh, probably back in 2005, I couldn't even keep my checkbook in college. I mean, to be honest, math was not my strong suit. I had more of an artistic brain. But I had to really teach myself how to do bookkeeping. So I think it really taught me one of the strong suits in your business has to be the financial part. Because you can't have a successful business without that.
Because of the lesson she learned there, Rosemary says she feels an obligation to give back to an industry that's provided her with so many opportunities.
My goal with the peanut pendant that I'm wearing is I would love a percentage of the proceeds to go back to the National Peanut Board. And some of it stay locally too. But like I said, I'd like to give back to an industry that's been really good to us.
Although it's no longer her full-time job, Rosemary says she still loves living on the family farm. But her young business has given her a joy that she may never have found in the peanuts and cotton, and she encourages others to chase their dreams.
I think that no matter what your age is or how much money you have in the bank, if it's something you truly want to do, then do it. Go for it. I mean, I'm still involved in the farm, but and I love that, but I'm also able to have this creative outlet. And if it wasn't for that, I don't know that I'd be as happy day to day.
For Simply Southern, I'm Kevin Worthington.
Rosemary's Jewelry is available in stores throughout Alabama and all the way from Texas to Florida.
But most of our sales are through a website, which is harvestjewels.com. Up next on Simply Southern, have you ever heard of a lasagna garden? Well, it's actually more of a technique than it is a crop. Sidney Phelps of Bonnie Plants and the farmer at the Montgomery Urban Garden will demonstrate it right after this short break.
There's nothing quite like sitting down to a home-cooked meal with fresh vegetables from the garden. With Bonnie Plants from your local quality co-op store, you can enjoy the freshest vegetables right from your own backyard. And no matter if you're a raised bed gardener, a rose gardener, or if you farm hundreds of acres, your quality co-op store has exactly what you need to get the most out of your plants. You'll always find what you need, plus friendly, knowledgeable advice at your local quality co-op store. There's one near you.
What we eat, what we wear. It all starts somewhere. And if it's good, it usually starts with a farmer. And that somewhere is right here in Alabama. In a field, in a barn, on a tractor. Right now, there's a farmer starting something good for all of us. And it all starts right here in Alabama.
FFA makes a positive difference in the lives of students by developing their potential for premier leadership, personal growth, and career success through agricultural education.
We're strengthening American agriculture and providing our members with the skills needed to build healthy local communities, a strong nation, and a sustainable world.
We are the next generation of agriculture.
It's our turn now.
Let's show the world what we can achieve together.
We are FFA.
For more Simply Southern, be sure to follow us on social media. And while you're online, visit our website, simplysouthern.tv.net. Simply Southern will continue in a moment.
We believe a plant should be more than a plant. This one is. It's all you need for your garden to succeed because it's a Bonnie plant. It represents hundreds of varieties of Bonnie's quality veggies and herbs. But more, it's from generations of Bonnie people who are passionate about sharing their love of gardening with you. Look for this little Bonnie plant and a whole family of plants like it in your garden center. Bonnie Plants, so you'll know how to grow.
Hey folks, Sidney Phelps here with Bonnie Plants. Today I'm in Montgomery, Alabama at Eat South, and I'm joined by Kaylor with Eat South, and you are the farmer here for the whole project here.
Correct, yes.
Well, today you've got a ton of different gardens here. You've got unique raised beds, you've got all these different things, but today we're going to talk about lasagna gardening or sheet gardening, because a lot of times when you say lasagna gardening, we talk about raised bed kits where you can do a pizza garden, but with a lasagna garden, we're not talking about planting the plants for the particular meal. We're talking about layers. So tell us about the project that you guys are planning here.
Sure. So a lasagna garden is really just layers of things to create a no-till raised bed garden with a lot of materials that you might find lying around your neighborhood or even your home.
Okay.
So what we did was we had a weedy area over here, and I knocked down the weeds. You can do it with your mower, your stream trimmer, and just leave them there. You don't even have to move them, just leave them there, because that's part of the organic material that's going into your garden bed.
All right, so if you've got a sunny spot that's been weedy or grassy and you just want to do something different, knock it down, get everything set up, and then you start the process of kind of getting the soil amended. So you've got some items here to mix in. So what's our first layer?
So our first layer, you know, for bonus points, if you get your soil tested at Auburn, you'll know exactly what to put on it. We're putting a balanced organic fertilizer on our garden.
Okay.
For our first layer, along with some nitrogen, some coffee grounds from our neighbors,
right,
who have a coffee shop here in downtown Montgomery, and we've got kitchen scraps. So we're going to throw those down too.
Now the kitchen scraps you're throwing that is all organic matter. That's vegetables. That's not any kind of meats or bones or anything like that.
No dairy, no rice or bread or anything. It's just kitchen vegetable scrap.
All right. So I'm going to throw the coffee down here. The grounds, basically the reason to do this is a good source of nitrogen.
It's a good source of nitrogen. If you don't have this many coffee grounds, it's okay. You know, if you drink coffee, use it. You can use tea. It's just something that we have. Again, use what you have. That's what's really great and forgiving about sheet mulching or lasagna gardening. Then we want to add some water to it.
Yep, so we want to add water. Basically the reason you're adding the water is you are going to kind of build up the heat. As compost as anything, The process is basically just going to be working its way up. It's going to build heat up, and it's going to cause everything to start basically decomposing.
Yes.
Now, when you get this level, we had, like we said, this was just a grassy spot.
Exactly.
So you have to have a weed blocker. So another level that you're adding in here is going to be corrugate. So if you shop a lot online, if you're dealing with things that come to the house often, newspaper.
Yeah, thick layers of newspaper.
You don't want to lay the newspaper out. You want to keep it folded as thick as you can.
Yep. Or you can lay it out, but you know, in like whole sections, right? So you want to get that like business section.
All right.
And you add another, and you want to overlap your cardboard because you don't want the weeds to grow up in between, right?
Okay.
So this is your weed barrier so that you're not dealing with these weeds in the future.
We're going to get that wet so it soaks in.
And then we're gonna throw a little compost, finished compost on top of that.
Okay.
And then again, using what you've got, I happen to have rabbits and guinea pigs.
All right, so that's just regular fertilization.
Regular, just extra fertilizer.
Chicken pens,
Yep.
whatever you've got there.
Yeah, just no cat or dog manure, right? That'll make you sick.
Okay.
You can also put the newspaper down as a layer.
All right.
And then we're gonna put a really thick layer of straw on.
Okay.
So this is wheat straw.
Yep, and the reason you want to use wheat straw is because it doesn't have any seeds in it. If you use hay or anything like that, you're gonna have the grass seeds coming back up, so you completely ruined all of the work you did laying that down. But the biggest thing when you're dealing with the straw is you want to make sure that you're keeping everything soaked in and wet.
Yes.
You know, lasagna garden is easy. It takes a little bit of time to get it started, but if you want to find out a method to do lasagna gardening at your home, go to bonnieplants.com or check out the app Homegrown with Bonnie Plants. And also, if you're in Montgomery, come check out Eat South.
In addition to bonnieplants.com, you can find out more about the Montgomery Urban Garden at eatsouth.com. They're always looking for volunteers, and working together on the farm is a great way for mom, dad, and the kids to just spend some time together as a family.
It's a wonderful place. That's our show for this week. Thanks for watching. I hope you'll be back with us again next time when we'll meet a man who can turn almost anything into a work of art.
And we'll feature the fastest story I've ever covered while making laps at the Talladega Superspeedway. Thanks for watching Simply Southern today. I'm Mary Johns.
And I'm Jim Allen. We'll see you again next week.
Simply Southern is a production of the Alabama Farmers Cooperative and the Alabama Farmers Federation.